Well, I have a few weeks to move, and we still don't know where we're going. And what I wanted to speak about in this video is how you manifest and how patient you are. And this is where so many people get themselves into trouble. I used to be very impulsive. I also like knowing right now if something's going to work or not, right now what's going to happen. And I got a tattoo of a turtle because years ago I kept running into these turtles. And I'm like, there's got to be a sign for this. Like, the turtles are slow moving. They know they're going to make it to the other side of the road. They hope a car's not going to hit them. And the first turtle I ran into, well, I didn't run into it. The first turtle that crossed my path was in the middle of the highway, and I pulled over because I want everybody to be safe and happy and alive. And I got out and I went to pick it up. I had work gloves, so I was like, okay, I'm going to grab some work gloves. I was in that level of my life. I was always go, 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 go. Like, I had a million things on the go. I had a list that was like, I was always doing. So I didn't think about like what type of turtle it could be. And when you are present in the moment, these are the types of things you would think about. So I went and picked the turtle up. It was a snapping turtle. I'm Holly, and I'm sharing a part of my journey to bring courage and inspire you on yours. And this snapping turtle was quick. Like, its head is quick, its feet are not. And it snapped right around and it grabbed my glove, like right in between right here, right there, in between my thumb and finger. And it grabbed my glove. It just pinched my skin, but it had a hold of the glove. And so now this turtle is like dangling from my glove because I didn't know what else to do. So it's dangling and I'm like holding the other end of it. And I brought it over to the ditch, and like on the other side of that ditch was the field. That was the direction it was headed. So I moved it over there because that's where the lake was. And that was my first interaction with it. I went back the next day and my glove was still there in the ditch because he wouldn't let go of the glove, so I had to leave the glove. Slow down. And that same year, I got there was another turtle that crossed my path. Slow down. And there was another turtle that was hit, and it was no longer alive. And so I got this tattoo as a reminder to slow down, that not everything needs to be known and figured out right now. Even my relationships, it was like, I want to know now. Like, I don't want to waste years and years with this man thinking that it's gonna work and then it turns out not working. And so I always wanted to know everything right away. So right now I'm in a space where we've moved 14 times in less than 4 years, and I'm being forced to move again in winter. And what ends up happening is when you're put in this position where you need to make a decision, which affects you, your sons or daughters, your career, your everything in your life, people get into a place of fear. And they're like, oh my God, I don't know what's going to happen. Where am I going to go? Who's going to be there? Am I going to have support when I get there? Is it going to work out? And I don't do that. And so I want to give you some advice here, and I'm going to talk you through my process because I hope that it will help you along your journey to slow down and have a little more patience. Now, I used to think I was patient. I really thought I was patient until I was put in these type of situations. And then I got to really learn patience. And not many people are in this space where they're patient and they surrender to the unknown and they trust the process. And then they end up clinging to everything they've ever known because they don't want to be uncomfortable. So when you get into a state of fear and you're unsure what's going to happen and you're like, oh my, like I have to figure this out now. Who should I call? Maybe someone else can give me some advice. And I've had a few people, they're really trying for me to find a space. And it just, nothing's felt right yet. So I don't push it. Like it's, what are we at? The 9th. So I've got, 3 weeks? I've got about 3 weeks. I don't know where we're going. I don't know how we're going to get there because my truck can't even haul my cargo trailer. I haven't been able to work because of all of the moving. Well, I can do some things. There's no way I could ever have a full-time job. And so I surrender and I'm divinely guided. And this is a space that it can be difficult to get to when you are so stuck in the material realm, when you're attached to all these things in your life, when you're attached to your friendships, you're attached to your bed and your couch, and you're attached to all these things that you need to bring with you and you don't want to let go of. And this is where people numb themselves. They either numb themselves like, oh, I need a drink. Oh, I need to relax, so I need a drink, or I need to, whatever you do for those instances. And you're numbing the feeling of working through what you really want. Because when you know precisely what you want, you end up aligning with that when you're in a space of patience. So when you're in a space of fear, you manifest from that fight, flight, freeze, or fawn survival mode, right? And so you get into these next situations where they don't align with you. And some of why we've moved the past 4 years is some of these moves were out of fear. Also, the moves put me in these positions where I set my boundaries. I tell my landlord what I need. They tell me what they expect. And as soon as we move in, that is their end of the agreement totally fails. Or the house is moldy. Or there's somebody bullying my son. So we have to move again. And so, oh my gosh, and this is the space that I really try not to go back into, because I owned several properties. I was property managing. I had tenants. I had a successful career. And all of that was stolen from me due to the people I chose to have in my life. And so that brings you back into fear is when I don't do this because I pull myself out of it right away. I already acknowledge when it happens. So when you want to reflect in the past and everything that's been taken from you, that's also not the present moment. The past has been and gone, and there's better things that are coming in for you. And this is where you need to be, is the patience and the trust and knowing that you've done that inner healing. And if you haven't yet, you better get on track, because it's like we're at endgame. And so you have to appreciate the lessons you learned then, knowing that you're not going to ever have those people in your life. They're not coming with you. There is much better things out there for you. Because imagine if you had those things with those people. Oh my goodness. So the other thing is I've been looking at options. And I haven't been looking at options to make a decision. And here's the other thing that happens. Some people do vision boards. Other people, like me, I'm a lot up here and my gut. Like I manage a lot internally. And some people need to write everything down. And there are things that I would rather, 1044, I would rather manage writing down. Most of my organization is internal. And so what happens is everything's recorded, because everything happens in the spiritual prior to the physical. So your heart is constantly being weighed to balance the scales. So when I'm looking at options, I'm aligning with the divine source within me, the internal guidance system, and I'm weeding out what I don't want to bring into my life. And I'm also aligning with those potentials and possibilities that I do want to bring into my life. And this is where you really need to consciously focus on what's going on up here. Because when you have those thoughts that creep in of the past and everyone that's wronged you and who took what and all that, you're aligning with what you already have been, which you're no longer that man or woman. You're no longer in that space. So pull yourself out of that and shift, because you're here now. And you realize that you don't want anything from the past. So when you, even from looking, let's say you can't even afford what you really, really want right now. That doesn't mean don't look at it. Because looking at it still will align you eventually in the future with that thing that you will be able to afford. Because you know that it's possible someday, soon. So looking at potential properties or options or careers, whatever it is that you're shifting in your life, I would suggest staying away from thinking about a potential relationship in looking that way, especially with online dating. So like a physical thing. Yes, you can know what type of characteristics and personality traits and qualities you look for in a partner. Stay away from the physical. I know with men especially, and I feel for you, because it must be bombarding your screens on people throwing their bodies in your faces. And that there is so much AI and CGI and filters and everything else. Like, you see me, I'm rarely ever on here with makeup. I use no filter. This is the scary part with men, is all of this masking. And due to you being very visual creatures and visually stimulating, you need to cleanse your mind so that you can steer away from the distractions, because that's all it is. You're okay, so in the original Bible, the Hebrew translation for sin uses 3 words, and it's the same for love. There's a 3-word translation. And the funny thing is, here's my brain again, everything's connected. stay with me here. I met people who are Israeli, who know Hebrew, they speak it. They don't know how to interpret the original Bible. They can't read the ancient Hebrew. So sin is your focus. That is how people truly sin, is where is your focus? Are you focused inward on building yourself and growing? Or are you focused out there, the eyes? So when you are bombarded with these physical visuals, your brain, when you're not cleansed, you are now aligning with the toxic traits still. You're aligning with temporary fixes. You're not aligned with your highest potential. And you need to cleanse that out. And you need to say, no, Satan, not today. Because the devil is full of beauty and light and temptation. So you get to choose what you're going to align with. So I wanted to share this because I'm still happy. I'm not worried. I have no fear in where we're headed. I trust my internal guidance system that it all aligns in perfect timing. And the thing is, divine timing, perfect timing, when you're aligned, it's not your timing. They speak a lot about divine timing. Divine timing is when you are in alignment with it. Divine timing is never late. It is never late. It is always on time, usually just on time, like a last minute type thing. So you have to trust. And I am a master healer. And I am many labels, whatever you want to see me as or call me. I'm a certified coach, certified trauma-informed coach. I'm a Reiki master teacher and a forest therapy practitioner. And if you feel like having some guidance to help get you through a little bit of stagnation, or if you feel stuck and you want to get unstuck, contact me. I'll make sure that my email address is available. And we can have a session and we can just talk through some stuff if you'd like. I can help guide you in the direction, and my specialty is really activating what lies dormant within you and connecting you to your internal guidance system. Because this is where all the answers are. I can help get you there. You know all the answers. They're within you. 1818. Mwah. Bliss to each and every one of you.